Hi, my name is Jamia Danzi. I'm the Director of Residence Life at Mitchell College. This short video tutorial will show first-time resident students what they need to do in order to be all set with their action items to come to Mitchell in the fall. And it will also spin off into a little tutorial about choosing a roommate and the housing selection process. So let's start now that we are on the Mitchell homepage. We want to click on Accepted Students at the top of the page. We want to click on the fall full-time students in that first picture with the beautiful tree on campus. And we want to look at the list on the left and choose your action list, which is the third thing down on that list. And your action list is a list of important technology items that you need to complete and other issues that you need to address before you get to Mitchell in the fall. You will see April 1st and continuing really is that you need to address your FAFSA, and that is your financial aid information that you will be addressing with the financial aid office, and their information is included. You also need to make sure that you have paid your $300 deposit as soon as possible, and that you attend new student orientation. There's a session in May, and there's also a session in August for those who need it. The next thing that I really want to highlight and go into actually is activating technology accounts and selecting a roommate. This is actually where this tutorial will go forward and show you all of the steps that you need to do in order to be set with your technology accounts, and also how to choose a roommate. If you are not a student who is interested in housing, I will let you know when you no longer need to follow along this tutorial. But we're going to click here to get started. Okay, so you will see 4 action items, and we'll start by logging into our Compass Online Campus Community and Student Portal. This is important, and we need to make sure that we do this before you're actually able to do the items below. So you'll see that in order to have a network account, your username and password are explained to you and what you need to do to get those. And follow the direction, please. And we are going to move forward to step 2. Step 2 is activating your Mariner Mail live account. And there are 6 steps to show you how to do that. And once you've done that, you can go forward to step 3. The rave alert is important and a very essential step because it communicates with you when there are emergencies, when there are snow days, when the campus may be opening late, or when anything of importance is going on that students need to be alerted about. And once you've added your mobile phone, you're going to go to step 4. And step 4 will take you right to the page where you're going to begin the resident student process. If you are not a resident student, you're done. If you are a resident student and you are interested in moving this process along for yourself and getting some assistance from the tutorial, please stay with me and I will show you how to do this. So you would be a first-time resident, so you will click the resident tab. I'm actually a staff member here, so I'm going to click the staff tab, but you don't want to do that. I'm going to click in my information, which popped right up, and type in my password. Please notice that the same username and password that you use for your Mitchell Mariner account is also the same for this housing account. So use the same complete email and your password. We're going to click go. This is what you will see when you arrive to the page once you've logged in with your Mitchell Mariner account and your Mitchell password. You will actually just arrive to this page, and you will notice that on the top of the page is an application status in yellow, and it shows that our application isn't finished, so we need to finish that up. You will also, under apply now, see that we actually have an application that we've started in the green box. So what you'll notice when you are on this website is that under status it will say get started when you first log on, but because I've started this one already, it just says continue. So we're going to click on continue. And we will arrive. You'll see some of the information has been input. My fake person is 127 years old and a male. So I, at this point, would answer these questions. You notice that the first question is asking if I have a medical condition that staff should know about. And if I do, and if you do, please enter that information in this box right here. Also, make sure that you're contacting the Disability Support Office if you are someone who thinks that you should have a housing accommodation based on a diagnosed disability. The Disabilities Office will assist you in getting the paperwork that they need, and also letting you know if you qualify for some accommodations, not only in the residence halls, but also in the classroom. You'll see some more questions about prescription medicine and another reminder about disability accommodations. And actually, because I'm not going to complete this right now, I'm just going to go to special information and roommate matching. But once you completed this, you would just click the green next button. So here's some information about roommates and living with someone on campus at Mitchell. Please make sure you read this information, and if you have any questions, we'll go over at the end of this tutorial how you would ask those questions, but please make sure that you're reading all the information. On the roommate, once we get to roommate matching, you're actually going to go ahead and put in your own personal habits. So you'll see first that sleeping habits is our first category. You want to complete all of the questions here, and then you'll want to complete all of the responses for smoking preferences and your personal preferences, study habits, and involvement. And then you can click next. If you don't complete a question, you won't be allowed to move on to the next thing. So just make sure that you fill in all of those responses. And because, once again, I'm not completing this today, I'm going to go ahead and click on terms and conditions. So terms and conditions just list some important things to note from our housing contract, and you won't actually fill out the housing contract until you arrive here in August. But it does give you some important information that you need to know about Mitchell and our rules. It gives you a bit of a first taste of it. So you'll go through and read all of that diligently, and you will then get to click that you agree. If you are a student who's under the age of 18, you will need to have your parents also click I agree. If you are over the age of 18, just go ahead and click I agree, because it won't let you move forward unless both I agrees are clicked. And for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to click on review. And basically the review tab allows us to look at all of our responses for all of the previous 3 sections. So we get to review what we've done. And if we feel pretty good about our responses, there's nothing that we answered incorrectly, then you're going to go ahead and click submit application. If you get through this at any point of this application section and you need to step away, you can always click save as draft, and your information will be saved so that you're able to continue when you return to the website. So once you hit submit application, you have completed your housing application, and congratulations, because you're halfway done. So once you have completed your housing application, we are going to go to the roommate matching tab, which is the tab that's closer to the top of the page, not completely at the top. And roommate matching will take us to a profile, and you'll see that you've answered this already, but you'll just have to quickly put in again your responses to the previous section. And once you hit submit, and actually let's go through this just so you can get a taste of it. So would I consider myself a night owl? We'll say yes. We'll say yes for all of these for the purpose of this tutorial. And so you get a sense of what the next step looks like. We like rock music. Oh, we'll say no, we're not going to go home on weekends because Mitchell has a lot of fun things to do. But everything else we will say yes to. Okay. once you have completed you've given a response to all of these, you will just click submit. So once we hit submit, submit brings us to this page where we do see that there are profiles that other students have submitted, and the system determines from the answers that you submit when you completed the roommate matching section, when we completed it previously, but also when we just completed it on the last page, which profiles that have been already completed are a potential fit. And you'll see at this point, demo student has 2 profile fits, and I will go ahead and click on learn more. And learn more is how we will have access to the rest of the information submitted. We'll have access to all of the information and be able to look through all of the different categories, sleeping habits, smoking preferences, and so on, and decide if this is a student who we think we want to live with. Now, after looking at profile 1, they're not a night owl, and they do not have a neat room. And as demo student, let's go ahead and say that that sounds like a good match for us. So we're going to click on send message, which is on the right hand side of the page under contact resident. And it will bring us to a page where we are able to email the student whose profile we're interested in, and we're able to email them directly. I will just email a hello. These emails go to your Mitchell account, and you'll see that they don't have a name associated with them. So you'll be able to email the student who has a profile that interests you, and you won't have access to their email address until they email you back and say, hello, my name is, and they give you that information. So we're just going to go ahead and submit hello, and you'll see that we are brought back to their profile and that there is that light bulb and the sent email delivered on the top of the page, and that shows us that our email was successful in being sent. So now that we've done that, at this point, click on return to list and browse through these profiles again. We had another profile that was a good match too, and well, that the system identified as a good match. So let's click on learn more for profile number 4 and look through all of these responses. And if you decide that you're interested in pursuing all of the profiles that the system identifies, then again, you're going to just go ahead, click on send message, write a message. And again, mine is hello, but I would really suggest that you go ahead and email someone introducing yourself a little bit, asking them some additional questions about themselves and their habits, and really taking the opportunity to get to know someone who could be a prospective roommate. And obviously, as a student new to Mitchell College, your roommate experience is really key to your impression of your college experience. So I really want to encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity to ask those questions that you feel are important to you. And again, we will click submit, and we will see again that the email was delivered. And you can do this as many times as you need to. And at this point, you're waiting for a response from the student that you've emailed. And if you get a response back and you're both dialoguing and it really is sounding as if you're probably not a good fit, be honest with one another and, be upfront and say that, I don't think that it's a good idea for us to live together, but I can't wait to meet you when we get to school in the fall. And I look forward to getting to know you further. If you have found a roommate and someone reaches out to you because you haven't moved on to the next process, which we'll get to in a moment, then all you want to do is just let someone know, I've found a roommate already. Good luck in finding a roommate for yourself. I do want to let you know that male students will only be able to see roommate matching profiles of other male students, and female students will only be able to see roommate matching profiles for other female students. So you won't be looking at profiles and needing to ask another student if they're a male or female. The system has already taken care of filtering that information. And you don't get any matches on your profile, then I would ask you to come back in a couple days and log into the system and come back and look at the roommate matching profile. So submit the profile information again. We'll go here for yourself, and then if still no profiles are shown, I will at the end of this tutorial go over the contact information for my office and for myself, and I and my staff are more than happy to help you to move this process along and to make a successful roommate match. Let's assume, however, that you have, through this process, reached out to someone and found a match and are excited about that. We are actually going to go back to the Browse Residence, and you'll see that we're brought back to this tab, and we actually want the Group tab. What the Group tab does is it brings us to a page where we're able to enter information for our prospective roommate. So if I have reached out to another individual and we've decided that we do in fact want to live together, then one of us is going to extend the other student our passcode. So I am resident 1 and I want to live with demo resident 2. So I am going to look at my passcode, which is on the right hand side of the screen and is a unique identifier that each student has. And since I want to live with demo resident 2, I'm actually going to take the passcode that they've given me, which is, and you'll see demo resident 2 pops up. I would click on that and I would save them. And now demo resident 2 and I are roommates. And we're all set. If you want to be sure that the two of you are set as roommates, then what I would do is, as demo resident number 1, I would give demo resident 2 my information, my purple 650, for demo resident 2, just to make sure that they put that into the group tab that they can access. But this is what it will look like once you have entered in your prospective roommate's passcode. You will see that both of your names are now listed as roommates, and when Residence Life staff goes into the system to see which students have chosen other students as roommates, we'll be able to see that the two of you have chosen one another. So at this point, if you have made that roommate connection and you see the following screen that you're all set, you're done. I do want to give some contact information for those of you who encounter some issues as you go through this process. Please contact the following email address, and that is reslife@mitchell.edu. And I will spell out ResLife, and that is ResLife@mitchell.edu. You can also call me. Just as a reminder, my name is Jamia Danzy, and I am the Director of Residence Life at Mitchell College. And my phone number is area code 860-701-7708. And please, please, please leave a detailed message and your phone number if you are giving me a call with questions or concerns about this system. All first-year students are enrolled in the 19 meal a week meal plan. You also receive 50 flex dollars a semester, which you can use at the on-campus store or in the after-hours dining facility. If you would like a single room, single rooms are available on a first come, first served basis, and they are an additional $1,000 a semester. And your financial aid package, if you receive one, may not cover that cost. So please talk to your parents and your financial aid counselor if you are interested in a single and not sure what that means for you financially. At this point, we're all set. You have completed the process of choosing a roommate and starting that process of living on campus. You should be very proud of yourselves. One last thing. Housing assignments will be sent out by early July. Housing assignments will be sent out via your Mitchell email, so please make sure that you're checking that on a weekly basis. Your roommate assignments as well as your housing placements will be included in this email. Have a great summer.